What's going on, guys? It's me, Dreamliner Fan HC here, and today we have the NG Models April 2025 releases for you guys. And we're gonna see what NG Models has for April 2025 as they continue this trend of good releases for the year. We'll see on how this year goes, but I have not really say that because sometimes NG does love to do these duplicates, which is kind of the basic terms at this point, so I can't really complain too much. But they've been releasing these cool models from North America as of late. Like last month, I think they released the Toontown Alaska 737-800 and the Delta MD-88. Those are one of one of the cool things they just released. They also released the Eastern L1011 in January 2025, a 747 SP House Livery, and all the other stuff that many collectors really like. So let's see what we have to offer for April 2025. So for the 140 section, there is one AC30, there's 5 AC20s, 5 AC21s if I'm counting, there's one A350, there's one 737-800, there's one 737 MAX 9, there's two Boeing 787-8s, one 787-9, three 757-300s, and two Xi'an Y20s. So it's kind of like a aircraft that's like a military Chinese plane. So, but I'm just eager to see what they have to offer. They have not updated the website, so if I pull up their official website, as you can see, nothing has been updated. They do have pretty much every single model from the March release available, which I'm surprised. So I think NG Models is improving on their times on when their models are going to be released, so there isn't that many delays. The only delay on this release set is the Honeywell 752 and 1/200 scale, but the rest is just available. So that's one improvement I see from NG for 2025. So really nice to see from there. But here I am on their Instagram page as they just got the releases recent, minutes ago or an hour ago, because they announced them while I was at work, and just out of work right now, just finished work, and we'll see what NG Models has to offer for April 2025, and I'm just super excited to see what releases they offer. They got some good November registrations, so I'm eager to see what those are. So with that being said, let's get started with the NG Models April 2025 releases. So let's get started with our first aircraft, which is going to be, I think there might be a couple of pages that have all the various other extra stuff from NG, but those are your, they also got some 120s too. Fine. I think there's some. Here are your 120s. So there's two 737 MAX 8s, one AG600, and four Comaxi 909s or ARJ 21-700. So let's see what NG Models has to offer for their April 2025 releases. So as I move on to the next picture, let's see what our first aircraft is, which is, I'm just eager to see. So let's get started with our first aircraft, and that plane is going to be, so we got a Jetstar Airbus A320 Neo. This is the Australia variant, so this is going to be Victor Hotel Alpha 5 Alpha. This is their first Airbus A320 Neo in their fleet, and really cool to get some varieties for the Australian collectors right there. And I think this is in their current livery, as I can see. So honestly, it's kind of a nicer livery compared to their previous one. They kind of just started out differently. So this is the A320 Neo from Jetstar. Never heard about this airline. I only saw Jetstar Asia, but I never seen the Australian variant with the Victor Hotel registration. But that's the plane right there. So it's a good start for all the Australian collectors right there. Next up, we should have, now I ended up going for predictions on my Instagram because I didn't have much time due to other things, so I did not do it. So these are just going to be raw reactions, but some registrations I kind of know what those are going to be, but I just need to see what NG is going to be releasing. So let's see what our next aircraft is from this batch. And this was posted an hour ago. So next aircraft is going to be, what airline is this? This is a colorful, this is kind of gay. Never heard about this airline at all, but this is I think that's colorful Guizhou Airlines A320 Neo. That's kind of this like this word, I'd assume many Chinese like I'm guessing, I'm not really quite sure how I can pronounce that, but it's another Chinese model. I have never heard about this airline before. I didn't know if this airline existed, but it's a really interesting airline, and it kind of reminds me, the livery itself kind of reminds me of the Bulgarian Tu-154 that NG released years back. Well, the livery is kind of like similar to what the Bulgarian Tu-154 had. But yeah, that aircraft is registered Bravo Zulu 0 Alpha Sierra. So yeah, not on my priorities, but for some Chinese collectors, I think that's gonna be a really cool model right there. And yeah, it may look all white, but at least there's some kind of like rainbow color to it. So yeah, at least it's not just like one color. You got like 1, 2, 3, 4, guessing like 5 colors. But yeah, that's just basically it for this livery. So yeah, really interesting livery. Not in my priority yet, but still it should be a cool one to say the least. Next up, yeah, there might be some background noises, but of course I have the power of iMovie, so I could like pretty much remove background noises. So let's see what our next model is. Okay, so we just have a China Eastern A321neo. Not in my priority once again. Nothing really too special. I don't really collect that many Chinese models unless I saw them in particular, but highly likely I'm not really gonna see them. So, but this will be a cool model for all the Chinese collectors. I don't think NG has never done a China Eastern A321neo, so this could be the first time they ever done so. And they somehow did too. Did no. Okay, they did. Okay, I'm trying to make sure I read them properly. So, there's actually 2, so can't really complain too much on the duplicates of NGs. This one in particular, this one is Bravo 30 Alpha Sierra, and the other one is Bravo 329 Juliet. So, nothing really too much, this is just duplicates. The same goes for the China Eastern A321neo. So we got 2 duplicates, which technically speaking, many US collectors don't really need, but for some collectors who are living in China, or they just want to have this for the airports, that's a good thing. But in my opinion, it's not really that necessary to have duplicates of Chinese airlines, which yet again, like NG is based out of China, which I can see why. But still, I mean, I can't really complain too much about that. If that's how they roll, that's how they roll. So the first one is Bravo 32 Hotel X-Ray, and the second one is Bravo 32 Hotel Yankee. So kind of like sister ships with each other. So yeah, not my priority as of late, but hopefully soon if ever I see this plane in real life. But who knows where they fly? They just mainly fly domestically around Asia, so can't go into much about that. Alright, next up on the list, we should have Aeromexico. Okay, this is a good one. Aeromexico Boeing 737-800 in their new livery. That's gonna be a really cool model. I think, yeah, that just sounds really cool. So Aeromexico, I think months ago, debuted their new livery. Gemini Jets did this model already in their 1/400 scale version, but I think Gemini Jets have updated their 737-800 mold as of late, which I think it came with a better wing flex, like more ground flex than like NG. I mean, like NG has been standard with the 737 molds, but I was kind of like on the fence of trying to get that Gemini Jets version because Gemini Jets was the first one who did this model. But honestly, now when I think of it, I think I do want to go for the NG version because like NG has a much more. Their 737-800 mold is better than the Gemini, but it's nearly close to Gemini standards. Of course, like I think Gemini's updated 738 mold no longer has wing flex. I mean, slightly a little bit, but majority of NG's molds, like past 737-800 they done, didn't have any wing flex. So, might consider going for the NG variant. Plus, they have never done an Aeromexico 737-800 in years, so really nice to have NG do another one. So that aircraft is registered November 957 Alpha Mike. I think NG did that reg. So Gemini, I'm sorry. But yeah, I think I might go for this model. It's gonna be a really cool addition, and yeah, I do have an Aeromexico 738 in my collection already, but that's in the old livery. So it's really nice to alter with the new livery. Who knows if there's going to be more Aeromexico 738s in the new livery, but I have never seen their new livery yet. Plus, I rarely see Aeromexico in the daytime. So, but still, this should be a really cool pickup, and I'm really excited to get this one for my collection. Alright, so next up, let's see what our next plane is. Our next plane is going to be, okay, so we got the Aeromexico Boeing 737 MAX 9 in this special livery. I think it's pronounced Mexico City Cuckoo Clans livery, if I were to take a guess. But that's another cool addition right there. So here is their really unique livery. It almost reminds me of like their special livery they had under 789. I kind of forgot the name is, but this is kind of like really cool on how this livery represent Mexican culture. You can see all the various like details right there and all the various animals. So really nice that Engine Malls is doing this. And I think this could be the first Max 9 they did for Air Mexico as well. So really cool addition. I'm kind of like not want to get it right now. It's not really on my priorities yet. But I have not seen this aircraft in person as of late, but this should be a cool addition. If I want to get the NG version, then I can get the NG version. So, really nice to see NG kind of bouncing back on a few Aeromexico stuff. Hopefully they can do some more, like an Aeromexico Max 8 or Max 9 in the standard livery in the future, but only time will tell. But still, at least we do have this really unique special livery right there from NG Malls with the Aeromexico, well, from Aeromexico by NG Models, but still a really cool model right there. Next up, we should have, and the aircraft registration is X-Ray Alpha Golf Quebec Sierra. I forgot to mention about the registration of this plane. Alright, next up we should have, let's see what our next aircraft is from this release set. Okay, so we got another 747-8. Yeah, like, okay, but didn't we just get one last month? Yeah, Carlos commented, didn't we just got one? Yeah, like, we just got one from the March release set. I don't know why NG decided to do this again, but that model is still available, so I don't see why NG Models decided to do another one if that one has not been sold out yet. I don't even know, but yeah, that's NG nowadays, but I mean, it's what it is. I don't really want to complain or rant about this situation from NG, but still, these duplicates they've been doing, it's kind of like off the charts. So I'm not really gonna, I think I do want to discuss that on a future video, but still, I mean, like, I can't really complain too much. I would just rather get the 747-8 last, like, which is the last 747-8I, which is, where is it? Right here. So Hotel Lima 7644. I would rather just get this one rather than this one they just released. So yeah, unless that thing sells out, then I could just like go for that one. So that aircraft is registered Hotel Lima 7642. I've seen a couple Korean Air 747-8s, but I don't know if I've seen this particular registration. I mean, I did see one at Taipei, Taiwan, but I don't know if this is the particular registration, but I will have to look at that on my cameras, like all the various pictures I got. But yeah, I mean, it's what it is. I don't want to get into a rant about this. Like, if that's how NG rolls, that's how NG rolls, which I can't really complain too much right there. So it's how their business operations do. But I have not seen this. Like, I did check on my images. I have not seen this particular plane yet. Maybe in the long run I will see it, but yeah. But still, wait, did the 747 was the 747-8 labeled in that release set? Because I don't think NG has brought this in on their hits yet. They have not actually. So this is just placed in out of nowhere. So yeah, but they ended up doing 3 duplicates. So I don't get why we got 3 duplicates of those. So we have 7642 and we have 7636, which yet again I can't really complain too much. Once again, I don't know why NG decided to do these kinds of duplicates. Okay, I'm just double checking to make sure that there isn't any other duplicates on the previous models I talked about. But still, we just got a Korean Air 747-8 last month, so I don't know why we need 2 for this month. So that's gonna be a video I'm gonna have to talk about in the future. And I do say a Frontier A320, kind of like interrupting myself, but I do see a Frontier A320 Neo landing, and I think that's like a Mountain Goat if I were to take a guess. I think that's Xavier the Mountain Goat. But yeah, I'm just looking outside of the ramp area and the runways. So yeah, I'm assuming that's that. But still, I mean, it's still a good mod. I do think their first iteration looks nice, but still, we don't need one yet. We don't need another one. Anyways, let's move on to our next plane. Next up, we should Ooh, Icenair Boeing 757-300. This is like a different one because like Icenair just retired the 753s last year. This one's operating for Fly Kieva, if I were to take a guess. But yeah, like yeah, operator Fly Kieva titles. This is their 753. This is still in the Icenair livery. This is Tango Foxtrot, Foxtrot India X-Ray, which I think that's the registration. Okay, is that the wait? I think it's a different registration, but okay, yeah, it's a different registration. I immediately saw because like it's that special livery that I was thinking about. So real cool to see this right there. I do wish I got a Icenair 753, but I never got the chance to see one. But at least I got to see their 752s. So yeah, and I do apologize from the background like background noises that are happening. People are just talking inside the airport, but yeah. But still, real cool model, and yeah, it's been a while since NG has done a 757-300, so really nice for NG models to bounce back on that mold. And let's see what our next Tango Foxtrot registration is for the 757. This one is just a regular 753, so that's gonna be a really cool model for all the collectors right there. So this is kind of like a duplicate. I will say that's acceptable. So they did one in the standard livery, and the previous one, which is this one, it's kind of like a standard livery but with just the title. So I kind of see where NG is going on with this for the 753s, but still, this is the only thing I can accept. But overall, the 753 for Icenair, that's a good addition for NG models for all the European and all the American collectors right there. I remember because like Seattle actually had 753s going to like around before the retirements. I've seen Icenair sending their 753s to Seattle, but I think they would mainly send them to either the more common airport I would see Icenair 753 is O'Hare. So yeah, really cool though, but I'm eager to see on how that model's gonna turn out from NG. And I think the third one is gonna be the special. And it is the Icenair Boeing 757-300 in the 100 Years of Independence livery. Now that's a really cool model right there. Honestly, I have not, even though because like this livery is really cool, and NG, like Icenair is known for having very cool looking specials. Like we got the Heckler Aurora, the 80 Years of Aviation livery, and then we also got this Independence. I think those are the only Icenair specials that I can think of. But honestly though, come to think of it, I mean it looks nice, but yet again, I have not seen this plane, but that's kind of like on defense. I'm kind of like on defense on this model. I would love to get it, but I don't know if I should right now. But yeah, that aircraft is registered Tango Foxtrot India Sierra X-Ray, a very popular registration. But yeah, that's kind of like something that's slipping on my mind if I should get this or not. But still, this is a really cool model. I think many collectors are really gonna enjoy this model. And overall, I think NG 753 mode, because I do have the United 753, I think this one is just gonna turn out to look amazing. So you can see on how that's gonna turn out once the production images are out. Alright, so now moving on. Next up, we should move on to our 787. So let's see what our 787s are. Okay. Oh yes. Okay, this is acceptable. All right, so we got an Air China Boeing 777-300ER, like just a regular livery. Okay, but we do got duplicates though. We do got Chinese duplicates again, but I can actually accept this because this is a standard livery Boeing 777 from Air China, and these planes fly internationally, and they also do fly to San Francisco International, not locally in Sacramento, because why would Air China fly there? But these do fly to San Francisco. So, okay, now I'm on a mixed opinion if I should get the first release with the larger titles, because it said larger titles, or I should get this. Ooh, okay, that's gonna be something I'm gonna have to think about. But yet again, we do got Chinese duplicates again, but I will actually pass on this one because this is what collectors really need. And standard livery, Air China, Boeing 777 right there. And yeah, given the fact that NG is like known for releasing these Chinese models, if it's a Chinese model that everybody needs, then I appreciate that from NG models. So yeah, I'm kind of like, cool. That's a really cool model right there. So they did Bravo 2045, and they did Bravo 2043. So, depending on which aircraft I saw, which I believe, like, I don't really know, but I don't know if it's either of these registrations. I don't know if I've seen them in person before, but only time will tell. But if I did, then yeah, I may have saw them in person. But yeah, but given the fact that these are duplicates, I will actually accept this. I'll accept this from NG's. It's a model that everybody needs, and yeah, I know NG just did a Air China 333 months ago, but still, we do need one of these. We do need these. So yeah, really cool to see this from NG models right there. So we got our two Air China 333s. Alright, so now moving on. And a Cathay! Ooh, okay, this is wait. This is just a regular 333. Non-ER variant. Alright, ooh, okay. That's good too. Alright, so what is going on with NG models right now? I think they're starting to. I mean, I understand that NG models is still releasing these domestic Chinese models, but are we starting to see NG do some more like these Chinese models that many collectors needed? This is something really interesting right there. But this is just a Cathay Pacific Boeing 777-300, not an ER variant. Now, I did see these planes in Taipei, and I'm assuming this could be NG's first 777-300 they did. I believe so, because I don't think NG has, I might be wrong in this. I think NG models have done a 777-300 in the past, but I don't know if this could be their first one they ever did with a non-ER variant. So really cool right there. I'll actually pick this up. I do want a bit of Cathay Pacific, because I only got one Cathay Pacific model, which is the Fantasy Retro. But given the fact I did see these planes in Taipei and in person, I will be getting this model for my collection. So that aircraft is registered Bravo Hotel November. So really cool variety right there from NG models right there. They also did one with the larger titles, and it's a 300DR variant. I'll also be getting that too, so looking forward to getting those Cathay models in my collection. Alright, so now moving on. I think we move on to our 787s, or we have another 777. Let's see what we have next. Okay, this one is just a different special livery. This is in the Spirit of Hong Kong livery. And yeah, it's just a regular Cathay 333, but they do have the Spirit of Hong Kong titles, and they do got a really unique special livery design. More in particular, they do have some kind of floral details, and then it goes all the way to, I think that's flower details, floral details almost, but then you got some really unique characteristics at the back of the plane, the rear part of the plane. So really cool on how this livery looks like, and yeah, really nice special from Cathay Pacific. That aircraft is registered Bravo Hotel November Kilo. So that's a really cool addition right there. Now let's move on to, I think we move on to our 787s, and I'm just eager to see what those 787s are. So with that being said, let's see our 787s. Oh my god, yes. Oh, alright. Okay, I knew this was gonna be released, but we do have a United Airlines Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner in the Evo Blue livery. Okay, now that's going in my list right there. United 788 Evo Blue. Wow, that is really awesome right there. And yeah, Gemini Jets did release one, but that's in the 1/200 scale variant. So this, I guess NG beat the punch to Gemini for this Evo Blue 788 in 1/400 scale. I'd assume Gemini Jets might release one in 1/400 scale in their monthly release. I think in their May release, but I guess NG was the first one to release one. So I have an NG 788 in my collection. That's a good model. So of course, me being a United Airlines lover and all that, and has a big collection of United models, I will be getting this as well. It's gonna be a cool addition for my collection, and overall, I think NG models is gonna really kill on this model, honestly. Because their 787 mold is really good. Trust me, you're gonna love it when you get an NG 787. No matter what NG variant, 787 variant it is, 788, 789, 710, NG really hits the spot with their 787 mold. So really cool addition right there, and that's gonna be going to my collection. And I think I'll highly likely get the flaps down version from Gemini if that's gonna release in 1/400 scale, just to kind of alter, or maybe if I want, I could just get both the flaps up or flaps down from Gemini Jets. Who knows what I'm gonna do, but just want to add some variety. And yeah, it should be a nice model for my collection right there. And we do have another November registered 787-8, so let's see what that is. and it's another one. Can't really complain too much. They do have a couple of these in their like I think there's more 787-8s that are currently being like gosh, I've been talking so much. So sorry. Gosh. Okay, so yeah, as I was saying, I'm starting to see more 787-8s in the current like new livery ever since the first one got repainted, which is November 269002. So that registration is the first 787-8 to be painted in United's new livery, and I did see this aircraft in person before she was in the Evo Blue colors. I think I did saw her in the Continental Globe colors back in my January 2024 spotting session. So it's really cool to see NG release it, and it's really cool to see this particular plane be the first United 787 to be painted in its Evo Blue colors. So that's really amazing to see right there. And overall, I'm just super excited to get that model as well. I wish I can get the Gemini version, but yet again, I don't know when the Gemini jet's gonna release at a 1/4 scale, but I'm assuming next month. So that's in my list right there. And they did release another one, which is November 459005. I believe, I don't know if I saw this particular registration, but yeah, I'm starting to see more Evo Blue 788s as of recent. My first seeing one was in November 2024. So I'm not sure if I've seen this particular plane in person, but if I have, then I do have a picture of that. So yeah, it's really cool to see NG models release some United 788s, and I understand that these are duplicates, but these are American models, so I'll let them pass on this one right here. So really cool. Alright, so next up, we should have our 737s. Hopefully have a couple of... Oh wait, I think we were able to our 737s. I think we might move on to some more models. And then we do have a China Eastern 787-9 in just a standard livery. So really cool to see right there. I mean, not really cool in a way, but it's really nice to see them release a standard livery China Eastern 789. I believe I've seen one in Victorville, like back in 2021. I think I do have a couple of pictures of 787s that are grounded, and I did came across this. I think I did came across the China Eastern 789. Not sure if I did, or maybe I seen some in Everett. But yeah, it's really kind of hard to tell. But if I did end up seeing one, then I'll be getting this model. But who knows what routes I'll be using this aircraft for. But yeah, excuse me. But still, really cool to see NG models release a standard livery China Eastern 789 right there. That aircraft is registered Bravo 226 Quebec. And yeah, nothing to go over afterwards. So let's move on. Next up, and then they have not announced this either. We do have a CAAC McDonnell Douglas MD-82. And yeah, kind of like the airline before Air China. Kind of like I don't really know what CAAC means, but I believe NG just dropped this at the last minute. They did not announce it on the hints, but they ended up like releasing it, just slapping this in this release set just for the sake of it. Yeah, they have not announced that yet. So, well, I haven't seen their A330 yet, so I don't know what A330 they'll release. So there's our MD-80 from CAAC. Not a model for many collectors. Like for many collectors in the US, but I think some Chinese collectors are gonna really appreciate this model right there. So that aircraft is registered Bravo 2124. And just to check on the hints, so we have, I don't think we got all of our A320s yet. Oh, actually, I think we do. We're missing an Alpha 6. Then I think we got most of the A321s. We got our A350s. We're still missing an A350. A321neo is also on that list too, and then yeah, all the others. So kind of like scrolling through all these various release sets. Let's see what our next model is for that. And then we do have a CAAC MD-82. This is another one, but this will actually, while it's the same airline, there's a different alteration to it. So this one has no cheat line, and it has a polished belly. So at least NG models were able to come up with something creative instead of like going for the same livery, same registration. So really unique feature right there. I'll pass this one on NG. And that aircraft is registered Bravo 2109er. And overall, it really looks different compared to like this version right here without the cheat line. But yeah, it does. I don't know which one is better, honestly. But many Chinese collectors can decide on that one. Alright, so moving on. Next up, we should have, and there's our PLA Air Force Y20. I think, yeah, it's been a while since NG has released it. Wait, are there arrows? Oh, whoa. Did I mean to go too much? Okay, I'm just checking to make sure. So we got our Chinese, Air China's. Okay. Wait, is there a different alteration with the 787? Oh, okay. Oh, I see. There's a different alteration. But as I go to here, really nice to see. I mean, I know this is not a model that collectors are really gonna like get, but it's really nice to see Engine Malls bounce back on this Y20 mold because it's been years since they last done one. I think 2022 was the last one they did, and I immediately thought they were actually done with this mold because not every single like airline not in say every single operator in the Air Force operates this, but I think it's just only the Chinese Air Force that's like the People Liberation Army Air Force that operates this plane. They do have two duplicates, which I'm not gonna go over. Wait, there's actually a different alteration. Actually, this one actually has a emblem right there. So this one just has like a white, just a white outline of the emblem, but the second one has the emblem with a gold trim and just a red filled background right there. So there's just some minor alterations. Also, they also add some titles like Chinese titles there as well. So at least they were able to come up with some alterations on the second one. So the first one, I think that's registered 20048, and the second one is registered 11256. And yeah, it says low visibility with national flag. But yeah, that's kind of just like the camouflage for the plane. So really cool to see NG bounce back on this, and who knows when the next one was going to be released. Plus, if you're looking for a Y20, then this is the better chance. Like, if you're a Chinese collector and you're looking for a Y20 for your collection, this is the better chance to get one. Because, I think the previous ones are already sold out. I don't even know at that point. But I'd assume. But yeah, it's a model that nobody really, collects. Like, this aircraft that nobody collects. But it's really cool that Engine Malls is the only brand that releases this type of aircraft. So, really cool. Alright, so now moving on. Next up, and then, Air China 744, but it's in the engine light. Okay, I just want to make sure. Yeah, this is just an engine light, so yeah, nothing really too much. They do have they have two different variants. So one is the 747-400, and the other one is the 747-400M, which is the combi variant. So yeah, this is actually different. I'll actually pass on this one since it's two different 747 variants. You just got a passenger variant, and then you got a combi passenger and cargo and passenger variant. So I can see why NG decided to release these two and come up with something different for this one. So you can see the cargo door right there on this 747-400M. So the first one is registered, the 400 is registered Bravo 2447, and the combi variant is registered Bravo 2468. And yeah, starting to get interrupted by a couple of people in this airport. Once again, I don't think I need to complain, say it again, since I'm starting to whenever I release reactions, I'm starting to now film inside the airport now. So yeah, coming up with a little different things, but there's some exceptions on when I'm gonna be recording on while I'm at home. But yeah, once again, I do apologize for the interruptions. It's what it is. So yeah, really cool to see NG Malls. I'm not sure when NG's gonna do the 747-400 standard variant, because that's been in the feature release set in a long time. So yeah, it's gonna take a while for them. But yeah, kind of waiting on that to come into fruition. But yeah, who knows when that's gonna be released. Anyways, moving on. Next up, we should have, and not a long time since they also released a small too. This is the AVIC AG600M. And this is kind of like the 1/200. Oh, this is 1/200 scale, I see. But this is actually okay, make sure. But yeah, this is actually the Chinese water bomber. So kind of take it as your firefighting plane in China. But they did come up with something really unique for this one. So this is more of an amphibious plane. So this plane can be on land and on water. And this kind of acts more of like a flying bow when it's on the water. So really cool that this particular plane has that kind of design, and I think NG Malls is the only one they're releasing this in 1/200 scale. But I've seen the first images on when this model was released for the first time, and overall it does look nice. Plus, this is actually their second one they haven't done. So that particular plane is just a rare plane to release. So yeah, really cool right there. And that aircraft is registered Bravo Zero Delta Charlie Charlie. So really cool. This is kind of like more the like factory livery, like you know, like the green that protects the coating from the elements. That's kind of like in the factory phase livery. So it's not in the full livery yet. But it's really cool that NG Models was able to release this again after like so many years. I think 2023 was the last one they released an aircraft like that. So really cool. Alright, so moving on. Next up, we should have, and then of course we got our 1-200 Chinese releases for these planes right there. This one is the China Eastern Airlines not C909, ARJ 21-700, which I think they're now starting to call this the C909er, which is really interesting on how NG's now changing the name, because the previous name is ARJ 21-700, but now I think Comac is starting to buy this aircraft, like taking hold from that plane company, and now they're just renaming it to the C909. So that aircraft is registered Bravo 651 uniform. Not really in my collection, but I think some Chinese collectors are going to enjoy this model. And then we do have another one from OTT Airlines. This one has a really unique livery. I do like this, like, what is that? Like swoop that's coming around the forward area of the fuselage, and then you got a red swoop that wraps around the area all the way to the empennage of the plane. Yeah, really cool. It literally looks like a knockoff version of a 717 and a CRJ. Kind of like mixing a 717 and a CRJ 200 at the same time. Yeah, this is what I'm seeing right there. That aircraft is registered Bravo 123 Alpha. Or not that one. Actually, they do have duplicates. Do they have duplicates? Okay, they do not have duplicates on that one. Yeah, it's kind of like... So yeah, they do have duplicates on two of these. So this one is registered Bravo 651 uniform, and the other one is Bravo 123 Alpha. And am I seeing a different alteration? Yeah, it's pretty much the same, so can't really complain too much right there. Anyways, moving on to our next planes. Turkish 737 MAX 8. That's a really interesting choice right there in 1-200 scale. Not in 1-400, but really cool to see this being done in 1-200 scale. They do have two duplicates of this particular plane, so yeah. They released firstly Tango Charlie Lima Charlie Alpha, and the second one is Tango Charlie Lima Charlie Bravo. So yeah, should be a good 1-200 model for all the European collectors right there. So really nice additions right there. Next up, we should have Cathay Pacific 777-300. Okay, good, because I was literally talking about that. I think I was talking about like when I was reviewing the Cathays, but we now have a standard livery Cathay 333ER, no big titles. Okay, that's already in my list right there. That's already in my list. I do want another Cathay Pacific model in my collection. I only have the retro. I do want a standard livery. I might want to see if I want to try to go for the bigger titles, but for the meantime, I think I do want to go for the one with the smaller titles, which I think that's the Cathay 333 I would mostly see. Alright, so that's another model that's going to be in my list right there. So the Cathay 777-300ER Bravo Kilo Quebec Whiskey. So nice addition right there from NG, right? Nice addition right there from NG. So we're kind of bouncing back on good Chinese releases now, but this is just an airline from Hong Kong. That's not like mainland. It's part of mainland China, but it's a different, I'm not sure if it's really considered a country, but it's just like a different region in mainland China. But still, that's a really cool addition right there. I will be getting that as well for this release set. So really nice. Alright, so now moving on. And there we go. Oh, I think that's it. I'd assume that. Yeah, that's it. So, there we go. So, yeah, I think that's it. Let me refresh the page. I think NG did release a few more pictures. Yeah, I think they released it. They did release it. But I'd assuming these... Because, I did see... What is that? I did see that NG Models also did the A330 and the A350-900 and A321neo, which I kind of knew what it was. So also included in this release set are the Delta 100 years liveries on the A321neo and the A350-900. So yeah, because they did hint this out. They released this as a future release set on their March, in early March after Delta's 100th anniversary. But I think these are gonna be coming out on the November, not November, the April 2025 batch. So really cool to see right there from NG. Let me look at NG's database real quick, just to make sure that I got everything settled down. So, but I'd assume that's it. I don't see any more like stuff that's gonna be covered. So we're missing on that AC30, which I don't know where that is, or like if I've gone through the AC30 yet. Yeah, like I have not seen anything that's related to the AC30, but I don't know what AC30 they're gonna release. But yeah, they did A221s, Aero Mexico, kind of double checking, Queen Air 747-8, and then 753, triple threes. They did not announce triple threes, so I'm not sure why those are added in at the moment. Cathay, United, China Eastern. Yeah, they have an AC30, but I don't know where that is. Like, they do have an AC30 on that release in, but I have no idea where that is. They also did announce an Alpha 6 registration for an A220. I also don't know where that is either, so not sure what's going on right there. Why are we missing like a couple of registrations of this release set? And where is the A230 with the Bravo 5 registration? I don't know, maybe it might take a while for the rendering images to upload, but probably like in the description below I will pull up, or probably in a comment I will pull up on what the A230 and A220 is from this release set. But as far as everything, I think I've gone through everything. Let me check on the A221. So Bravo Suite 2, and then Bravo Suite 2. And yeah, I think we're missing a couple of registrations on this release set. So I'm not sure what was going on right there, why NG models have not like released those yet. Even if I tried refreshing the page, like refreshing the NG page. So I don't think none of them are kind of like coming out yet, but it's gonna take a while for them to release that. But hopefully they do update the website soon, and probably in a pinned comment, I will give you guys on the other releases that NG did. So, but overall, this is kind of like a little bit not as great as compared to the 3 previous months, but all I can really say is, that's how NG rolls, but at least we do got some really cool models like a United 787 Evo Blue, even though they did 2 duplicates. They got some really nice North American variety. So we got Aero Mexico again. Aero Mexico is back on track with NG once again after a years of hiatus. We also got, those are only 2 North Americans. Majority of them are just Chinese stuff, which that's kind of like the norms for NG models. And at least we do got Icelandair's and Turkish Airlines on the 737s. I think that we also are, I think we're good with the Chinese stuff and 1-200, all the stuff's in 1-200, but we're missing on a couple of 1-400 models. So not sure where those are, but yeah. But overall, these are, what can I say about this release set? Honestly, it's just this is like just your standard NG models release set. There's nothing really too much to be excited about here. The ones I'm excited about though from this release set is the United 787 Evo Blues and the Aero Mexico new livery, and yeah, that's it. Cathay 333 as well. I'm also excited for that. As for everything else, kind of like in defense about these, the Air China 333 is also a nice addition. So yeah. But overall, it's kind of like just your normal NG models release set. I'm gonna have to leave a comment down on what were those the other missing models from this release set. And yeah, like hopefully those other 2 models are also good. Yeah, I don't know if they're actually good, but yeah. But other than that, those are all your release sets from NG for April 2025. Let me know what models you're gonna be getting in the comment section below. For mine, I'll be getting a lot. The ones I'll be getting right off the bat is the United 787-8 Evo Blue livery, Cathay 333, Aero Mexico 737-800 new livery, and what else? Maybe the Cathay 777-300 non-ER variant. Maybe that's kind of like on the fence, but maybe I might get it instantly, since I think this could be NG's first time doing that. And as for that, that's kind of like basically it. The ones I'm kind of like on the fence of is the Icenair 753 100 Years of Independence Livy, Air China 333, which I don't know which one I should get. Again, like I also talked about this before, but I'm kind of on the fence on getting the Cathay 777 300 non-Neo variant. And yeah, that's basically it. So let me know in the comment section below. I think I said that already, but yeah, once again, let me know what you guys think of this release set in the comment section, and let me know what models you're going to be getting in this release set from NG models. But hopefully we can see a better release set for May. But yeah, April is kind of like winding down on like these good releases. I guess NG models do want to take a break on like releasing these amazing releases for all these collections right there. Anyway, it's what NG does, so can't complain too much right there. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and turn on that post notification bell so you won't miss a new upload from me anytime soon. So that's it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Good night.